So, what is Yoga Nidra? So, if you've never done this before, or if you've never meditated at all before, I'm really glad you're here because this is a great way to start a meditation or Yoga Nidra practice. So, first of all, Yoga Nidra means yogic sleep. You don't actually have to fall asleep like some people do. Like I like to do Yoga Nidra to help me fall asleep and to help with my chronic pain. But the point is not to make you feel like you're asleep or to make you fall asleep. Although, that's very common. The point is to get you very, very relaxed, but you're still completely alert with your mind. So it's not like I'm trying to put you into a trance or anything like that. So let's just start right there. It's very relaxing for your body. And that's the great thing. And why I think it's great for beginners is because there's hardly any periods of silence. Now, in the Yoga Nidra that I present to you tonight, we do what's called a counted down breath. And we basically start with the number 27 and count down until I tell you to stop. And I become silent for about 45 seconds to a minute. And we do this in 4 different places. And I'll go into a bit more detail when we get to that. So there's these little pauses of silence, but for the most part, I'm speaking throughout the entire meditation. So I'm going to walk you through a series of steps, and it's the same every time, at least, from what I teach. So if you like this meditation, you could watch any of our Yoga Nidras on the Veterans Yoga Project Facebook page. Go look for the media tab. It has both audio and video files, and you can type in the little search function Yoga Nidra. We have varying links there on the videos. Plus, we have them up on SoundCloud and on my YouTube site. So, first of all, we'll do some centering and breathing together. Then, second, we will set some intentions, what I like to call themes. And there's 3 parts to that process. And, I'm going to walk you through every step. Third, we do what's called the rotation of consciousness. And it's basically also, you probably know it as a body scan. And it just means we're going to pay particular attention to different parts of our body. Then we'll come out of the scan and reverse how we go in. We'll come back to our theme setting. We'll also do things like contrasts and opposites. We'll come back to the breathing, and then I'm going to get you nice and comfortable so you can continue on with your day. But you might decide to go ahead and continue to sleep, and that's okay. So if you're the kind of person who has trouble sleeping, challenges with anxiety, restlessness, concentration, or any of that kind of thing, that kind of PTS thing, these kinds of meditations have been clinically proven to be really helpful in conjunction with you and your therapy and your medications and your yoga classes and all the other stuff you're trying to do for self-help. So I don't think I'm going to lower my voice much, but I may start to talk a little bit slower. So this is probably how I will sound throughout the rest of the meditation. So if necessary, please adjust your volume. And then I'm going to invite you to lay either flat down on the floor or on your bed or, comfortably in a chair or a couch. And, if that's not comfortable for your backside, if you have back challenges, you can roll up a blanket or place a pillow underneath the bend of the knees. I also suggest having a little hand towel to cover the eyes and maybe a little pillow for the back of the head just to get comfortable. Plus, it's important to get a blanket because we become still, and that lowers your blood pressure and your heart rate, which, can make you feel slightly cooler. It's not bad, but it can just be a little distracting. So I tell people to have their blanket and just, cover yourself before we get into this kind of meditative state of mind. Some folks will say, have your arms out to the side of the body, your legs out, your ankles flayed out to the side. You know what? You just get comfortable. That's what I ask. I always like to place my hands on my torso. That's comfortable to me as opposed to arms out to the side. So again, it's whatever's best for you at this moment. So before you close your eyes, just kind of look around the room and just notice what's in the room. Even though, you've been in this room many times, probably today, really take a second to notice the shapes, the colors, and the textures. And then notice the objects that are in the room with you. And then this is part of our centering process. This is what we're doing right here. So notice if you can hear anything besides the sound of my voice. So for me, it might be the air conditioning coming on. What else? Sometimes I hear people walking down the hallway, or a dog outside, or the lawnmower. It's still daylight enough to run the lawnmower here in Texas. So, it could be the clock ticking across the room. And then let's start to bring that awareness, instead of on everything around you, outside of you, let's bring that attention instead to our inner landscape. And at this point, with this inner landscape business, I invite you to slowly close your eyes, maybe place that little towel over the eyes if necessary. And I invite you to notice where you feel contact with the floor or the surface beneath you. Maybe you can notice the texture of the floor, identifying all the parts of your body that are touching the floor, where you feel that sensation of support and pressure there. And then let's bring your attention, your awareness, to the parts of your body that are moving as you're breathing. Now, don't change your breath in any way. We're just noticing, what does it feel like to breathe in? And what does it feel like to breathe out? Now, making that little noise in the back of the throat, it's called the ujjayi breath, or the ocean breath. So what I do is I exert just a little bit of control over the breath by simply extending the exhale by about a second or so. And you can do that by pulling the belly towards the spine and constricting the back of the throat. Now, you don't do this too vigorously, because that's going to dry out your throat and then cause you to feel a little bit of discomfort. So it's as if you're going to fog a mirror, a little hand mirror in front of your mouth, and you sort of end up inhaling as regular. Maybe the belly feels a little bit bigger, and then exhaling, making that sound. So what I'll do here is what we call the extended exhale. So I'll invite you to breathe in for a count of 4, a little pause, and then exhale for a count of 5 and pause. And we'll do that 2 or 3 times. If that's not manageable, just do your regular okay breath, all right? So here we go. Let's breathe in, pausing, and exhale. You can hear that little sound, I guess. And again, breathe in, and let's exhale. Let's do that one more time together. Here we go. Breathing in, and slowly exhale. Good. So that's an option available to you if you're willing to try that. And again, you can go back to whatever breath is best for you at this moment. So next, let's set those intentions or that theme together. And there's 3 parts to that, like I mentioned before. I'll walk you through each part one at a time. So the first is to bring to mind your heartfelt desire. Let's bring to mind what you truly want in life. It could be anything. Maybe you want to feel healthy or well. Maybe you wish to be a non-smoker or to feel peaceful. So whatever it is that you want for yourself, for your life, let's imagine that as if it were already true. Next, let's set our theme or intention for this specific practice tonight. So what do you wish to commit to? Maybe you want to stay awake. Maybe you're one that wants to fall asleep. And again, whatever it is, sense as if it were already true. So, what would that feel like in your body and in your mind? Maybe it's something like, I am calm, I am peaceful. Usually I pick, I am pain free. So, again, it's something that resonates, that is meaningful to you, something you want for yourself in your life, as if it were already true. And so we will repeat that theme, that intention, silently to ourselves 3 times. And I'll do a little silent clap for about 10 moments. And again, silently to yourself 3 times. Let's repeat that theme. Here we go. Good. And finally, let's bring to mind your inner resource. So the inner resource is like a sanctuary inside your mind. It's a place, maybe a memory, or it could be a fantasy. You don't have to search your memory of somewhere or something or someone that makes you feel peaceful and safe and well. So maybe it's a time in your life or a certain person or a pet. Maybe it's somewhere you've never been, but a painting of a fantasy world. And it has all your favorite features and colors and weather. So, any of that will do. And at any point during class today, you can always return here. So it's not something that only exists when I tell you to think about it. It's something that lives inside of us. And you can always use it as a tool when you need to feel peaceful and safe and well. All right, good. Next, we will practice the body scan portion of our class. And if at any time during that body scan practice, you maybe notice your mind wandering, again, maybe you hear a noise outside the room or, some random dog barking or thoughts that pop into your head. These things happen, especially if you're new to meditation. So do your best not to judge yourself. And it's completely normal. It's just your brain doing what a brain is designed to do. So again, just acknowledge it, that it's happening, and then gently guide your attention back to what we're doing. Bring your attention back to my voice, even if you have to do this 30 times. And, if it happened to the Dalai Lama, it's going to happen to us too. Yeah. All right. So what we'll do is I'll say something like the right thumb. And then what you'll do is inside your brain, you'll say right thumb. And then you'll imagine a right thumb in your brain. So that's to help you focus and concentrate and to lessen the inner mind chatter or the earworm, the song that repeats over and over again. Again, because you're listening, you're following instructions, and then you're doing your own visualization inside your brain. So I love it. All right, so we're going to start. So let's bring all of your attention and your awareness to your, let me think here. What are we going to start with? Let's start with our right thumb. Again, all of your awareness to your right thumb. First finger. Second finger. Third finger. Fourth finger. And again, we're saying these body parts, we're imagining the body parts and bringing all of our attention just into the right side of the body. Let's continue with all of our attention, all of our awareness to our right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, armpit, right side chest, right side waist, right hip point, upper leg, right knee, right shin, the right sole of the foot, the right top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, right pinky toe. Again, I invite you to notice as best you can any sensations throughout the entire right side of your body all at the same time, noticing if it feels difficult without judging yourself or trying to force it. Again, just the right side of the body. Good. Let's let go of that. Now, let's move all of your attention, all of your awareness to the left thumb, index finger, middle finger, left ring finger, pinky finger, left palm of the hand, top of the hand. And once again, I invite you to bring all of that attention, all of that awareness over onto this left side of our body today. Again, continuing with the left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, armpit, left side chest, left side waist, left hip point, upper leg, left knee, left shin, left sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, left pinky toe. Again, let's become aware of the whole left side of your body together as best you can. Let's notice all the sensations on the left side of your body all at the same time. And again, notice if it's difficult without judging yourself or trying to force it. Good. Let's let go of that. Now, let's move all of your attention to the back of your neck, back of the head, right shoulder, left shoulder, upper back, mid back, low back, right behind, left behind, right back of the leg, left back of the leg, right back of the arm, left back of the arm. And once again, just kind of notice the sensation of being supported with the surface underneath you on this back side of the body. Again, noticing all the sensations on the back side of the body all at the same time. Again, noticing if that's difficult to notice that. And again, don't judge yourself. Don't try to force it. Again, good. Now, let's flip all of this to the front part of the body, starting with the forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, and then that space in between the eyebrows, that eyebrow center, right eye, left eye, right cheekbone, left cheekbone, the top of the nose, and then the tip of the nose. Good. Right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip. Let's allow the tongue to rest softly inside the mouth with the teeth softly parted, with the lips softly sealed. Good. The chin, jawline, throat, right chest, left chest, upper abdomen, navel center, lower abdomen, right groin, left groin, right leg, left leg, right arm, left arm. And on that front side of the body, wherever the blanket's not covering, just notice the air coming across the skin. Notice that the top side of the body might feel a little bit lighter than the back side, which is being supported by the surface. Again, just noticing all the sensations just in the front part of the body. Good. Let's let go of that. Now we come to the breathing counted down breath. So let's just allow your awareness now to drift down to your navel center. After that, we're going to go to 4 different places: the navel center, the heart center, the throat center, and the tips of the nostrils. And we'll count down the breath, starting with the number 27. And I'll stop you at some point in time, and then we'll move on to the next place. So I'll do this a little bit with you and then let you continue. So I invite you to start at the number 27 with each inhale and exhale counting down. So let's breathe in 27. Breathe out 27. Inhaling 26. Exhaling 26. Counting down 25 and continuing until I stop you, and then we'll move on to the next place. Again, all of that attention at your navel center, starting now. Again, number 25, counting down, starting now. Good. I'll invite you to stop right there. Now, from that navel center, let's shift our attention right to the heart center. Once again, we'll start at the number 27 with each breath counting down, starting now. Good. You can stop right there. And once again, let's shift our attention to our throat. So once again, starting at the number 27 with each breath, counting down, starting at 27, starting now. Good. From that throat center, let's bring our attention to the tips of our nostrils. Once again, starting at the number 27 with each breath, counting down, starting now. Good. I invite you to stop right there. So now we're going to be working with opposites and contrasts. This next one is heavy and dense versus weightless and being buoyant. So I allow you to allow into your awareness these sensations of feeling very heavy and dense in your body. So let's just notice any sense of heaviness or denseness in your body. Just really very heavy and very dense. So what does that heaviness feel like? just feeling very heavy. And then I invite you to notice any sensations of feeling very light and buoyant in the body, feeling very weightless and buoyant. So, what does that feeling of weightless feel like? Just feeling really very light and buoyant. Then I invite you to come back to feel very heavy and dense, just noticing what it feels like to feel very heavy and weighted. And then coming back to feeling very light and buoyant. Then coming back to feeling very heavy and dense. And once again, coming back to feeling very light and buoyant. And then I invite you to allow into your awareness all the sensations of feeling very dense and heavy, and feeling very light and buoyant at the same time. Good. Next, let's work with feeling warm versus cold. So I invite you to notice any sensations of feeling very warm in the body. Just noticing any sensations, that warmth or heat in the body. Just feeling warmth and heat. What does that warmth feel like? Just feeling very warm and heated. And then I invite you to notice any sensations of feeling cool or chilled in the body. Noticing a sense of coolness. Just noticing any sensations of feeling very cool in the body. Then I invite you to come back to feeling any sense of warmth or heat in the body. Feeling very, very warm. And then coming back to a sense of cool in the body. And then I invite you to see if you can allow into your awareness all the sensations of feeling very warm and very cool at the same time. Good. Once again, let's bring your awareness, let's bring it back to your breath. We're not changing your breath in any way. We're just noticing what it feels like to relax here and breathe. So maybe it feels different than when we started class, and that's okay. Maybe it doesn't feel different, and that's okay too. And again, just notice where you feel the most movement as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Good. Let's continue. Let's work with light versus dark. So let's imagine the warm glow of light all around you. Not bright, but a glimmering glow of soft light, as if your body were surrounded by this warm and comforting energy. Now, let's imagine the light fading into darkness, coal black, flat, dense darkness, the darkest night without stars or moon, a dark room without windows, the darkness behind your closed eyelids. Good. Now let's work with feeling lethargic versus being rested. So let's imagine feeling lethargic and tired, maybe from lack of sleep. Feel the achy tiredness in your bones, body and brain, when you just can't muster the strength for one more thing. Now, imagine feeling completely rested. You have enough energy to face each day with grace and ease. You have slept well and are electrically alive in each vibrating fiber of your being. Good. Now let's contrast dry versus wet. So let's awaken the sensation of dryness in the body. So let's remember the feeling of dryness on the skin. Your clothes are dry. your hair is dry. Your whole body is dry. Perhaps that feeling of dryness permeates into your body as a sensation of dehydration. The body is dry, the whole body dry. Now, let's awaken the experience of moisture in the body, the experience of moisture and wetness. So let's imagine water on the fingertips. What would that feel like? And then remember the feeling you have when you are in the bath surrounded by water. Imagine the wetness moving into the body as a sensation of internal hydration. The body is wet, the whole body wet. Next, let's work with blockage versus flow. So, what happens when you feel blocked? Let's remember the last time you were stuck in traffic, when maybe your sinuses were blocked by a cold or your energy blocked by an injury, when something happens that impeded your progress forward. So, without dwelling on the details, let's focus on the sensation of being physically, energetically, or emotionally blocked. Now, let's flip that to flow. How does it feel like to be in the flow? So let's imagine water flowing smoothly around rocks, the gentle feel of wind flowing through your hair, a time when you could easily take steps forward on your path and everything seemed to be in flow. Good. Let's work with new versus familiar. So let's embody a feeling of newness. So, do new things bring with them feelings of fear or of excitement? How often do you engage in new things? People, places, and projects. Feel newness. Now, let's embody a feeling of the familiar, your common familiar surroundings, your belongings, friends, family, and places you visit every week. Does the familiar feel safe to you or does it feel old? Feel familiarity. And at this point, make sure you are not sleeping. Say to yourself, I am awake and aware. Good. Now let's go back to feeling grounded. Let's bring our attention back to the body. Once again, we're noticing the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor or the surface beneath you. Bring your attention to the front of your body and just notice how the sensations are different here in the parts of your body that are not constricted by the pressure against the floor. Notice your breath, both in the back of your body and in the front of your body. Notice the right side of your body. Notice the left side of your body. And once more, notice your whole body together. Good. Let's bring to mind once more your heartfelt desire, what you want in life. Bring to mind once more that inner resource, that memory or fantasy that makes you feel grounded and content and secure. Return your attention to your body. Notice if your body feels different than when we started this class, and notice the breath. And at this point, let's try 3 more of those extended exhale breaths. Just remember, just to breathe in through the nose and fill your belly. And then when you exhale, let that sound come out as if you're fogging a mirror. So let's begin. Inhale, fill your belly. And exhale. Let's release a little bit slower. Inhale again. And slowly exhale. Let's inhale. Let this be the biggest inhale of your day so far. Here we go. Breathe in. And exhale. Good. Now, let's go back to our theme, back to our intention. So I invite you to bring your awareness back to the intention that we set for ourselves at the beginning of this practice. We'll repeat it silently to yourselves 3 times. That theme, that intention that you set. Now, for me, it was I am pain-free. So I'll do a little silent count of 10 while you repeat that silently to yourself 3 times. Here we go. Good. Let's return your attention now back to your natural breathing, back into the present moment, back into the now. And before we open our eyes, just kind of remember the room that you're in. Remember all the objects and the textures and the colors in the room with you. And then at this point, I'm going to read the poem written by Richard Miller, the founder of iRest, which is the clinically proven methodology that he did for the government on using meditation to help with PTS, easing chronic pain, reducing the need for chemicals in our bodies, and a lot of other things. So here we go. I have a body, but I am not just this body. My body manifests different sensations of health and sickness, restfulness and tiredness, calmness and agitation. But these states change. So I am the unchanging awareness in which these changing sensations arise. I value my body, but I am not just this body. I have emotions, but I am not just these emotions. My emotions manifest different conditions from love to anger, from calmness to agitation, from joy to sorrow. But those states change. I am the unchanging awareness in which these changing emotions arise. I value my emotions, but I am not just my emotions. I have a mind, but I am not just my mind. My mind manifests different thoughts and images, which are constantly changing. I am the unchanging awareness in which these thoughts and images arise. I value my mind, but I am not just my mind. I am aware of all the changing sensations, perceptions, emotions, thoughts, and objects which compose my body, senses, mind, and the world. I am the unchanging awareness in which all these movements arise. I am pure, unchanging awareness. I have a body, but I am not just my body. I have a mind, but I am not just my thoughts. And I have emotions, but I am not just my feelings. So what am I then? What remains after having disidentified from my body, sensations and feelings, and thoughts? I am a center of pure awareness. Again, I am a center of pure awareness. And again, that's from Richard Miller, the founder of iRest. And again, back into the present moment, back into the now. So now I invite you to start some little tiny movements, or you may choose to continue to go on onto slumber. But if you're joining me at the end of the practice, I invite you to move those fingers, those toes, If you were laying flat on your back, maybe bend one knee and then the other, and then just slowly roll over onto your side body just for a moment here. Take your time. When we're horizontal and we go to an upright position, there can be this equilibrium shift due to the blood pressure being different when we go from lying to upright. So you may have noticed this already in your body system. So what I like to do when I do push myself up to a tall seat, in fact, I'm going to sit up a little bit taller here. I'm going to tuck my chin a little bit into my chest, and I take my hands and rest them in my lap. And I look at my hands and just breathe a moment or two here. And I just kind of notice my chest expanding, my belly expanding, and then exhale, belly button towards the spine. Again, that's to allow time for all this pressure to be kind of equalized. And again, breathe in and out. And then from here, you can bring your head back to regular position. And let's just kind of do a little shoulder roll. And then the same for the other side. And just kind of get that movement going, a little bit of movement back into the body. And then I invite you to reverse that. So take it into the other direction. I like to do one at a time, but you can do both at the same time. That works too. Very good. And then maybe you want to stretch an arm or stretch a leg. And anyway, you're going to be moving whatever feels best for you today. Just getting a little lengthening kind of movement going on here. From here, the hands not resting on any body part, but I invite you to twist over to one side. So that's your torso doing all the twisting here. And then bring it back to the center. And let's twist over to the other side. Again, I'm trying not to have my hands on my legs to where I'm leveraged into a twist, but letting, again, my mid-thoracic twist for me today. And then back to the center. Then I'm going to place my hands on my legs and curve my spine into a big letter C to the back of the room. So it's called the cat posture. So I'm kind of scooping my belly button towards my spine, curving my back to the back of the room. And then I sit up nice and tall. So my ears are over my shoulders, over my hips. And then I'm going to hinge forward. I'm going to come closer to the camera. And this is the cow part of the cat-cow posture, seated on the floor, on the chair, on the surface beneath you. And then come back to ears over the shoulders over the hips. Very good. From here, let's do one more movement. It's called the side lateral movement. So that means bringing your arm way up in the air and the other hand down on the floor and then reaching up and over. So you're kind of stretching from the armpit to the hip pit. So getting that nice quadris lumboris lengthening stretch going on. Bring it back to the center and down. And let's do the other side. So we're going to reach up, whatever you can do here, and then up and over to the other side. So we've done the 6 essential spinal movements, just a little bit of yoga here, a little bit of movement in our Yoga Nidra practice. Okay, good. So now I invite you to drop your chin towards your heart center. Maybe your hands rest on your chest or the sides of the thumbs into your sternum. And this is in motion of gratitude to yourself today. Give yourself a really sincere thank you for showing up today. You can keep your eyes, your gaze soft. You can close those eyes or have them softly open. And it's okay if they're completely closed. So again, a slight nod of the head forward, bringing that internal gaze right down to your heart center. Good. Let's see if you can allow that to bring you to some place that feels like gratitude. And then from that place, I invite you simply to acknowledge to yourself one thing in your life that you're grateful for this evening. Namaste. Which namaste means the light in me honors the light in you. And that concludes our practice of Yoga Nidra. And please accept my sincere gratitude for you showing up today, for taking care of yourselves, your families, the veterans, in our communities. Thank you so much. And when you're ready, you can release the hands, flutter the eyes open. And thank you for joining me. And I will see you all next week.